feeling cold against your skin. Running through the chaos, letting all the sin. Temptation in a bottle, ready for the night. Craving for the thrill, it's time to ignite. Dark desires burning bright. Echoes in the dead of night. No retreat, no looking back on this heart attack.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Good to see you back again. We have a bunch of updates, King on King updates, more information about what happened there with Kata Scott. Have some information about that missing college student, Leah Smith. We have a very sad update in that one. And then a story from Australia, Sydney yesterday. A woman found on the beach in Sydney. But it's very strange, some of the information that has come out and what the conclusion is. So we'll have to talk about it and we'll have to have a look at it together because it's a little odd. Hey, good to see you all. How are you all out there? Good to have you here on this Thursday night. I know Trish wasn't here tonight. She was off doing something, I don't know, stealing monkeys. I reckon that's what she's doing. She's off at the zoo tonight stealing monkeys. I reckon that's exactly what she's up to. Every time she has a night off, a monkey disappears from the Dallas-Fort Worth Zoo. Every time, I promise you, every single time. Hey, good to see you. Hey, Spin, good to see you. Neuro's here. Chipmunk. Hey, good to see you. Something is going on with all your names tonight. Do you see this on the screen? All your names are like the full names, not the short names. They're all like your channel names, not your normal like chat names. Do you see this? Like Lindy has the full name, not the, and Neuro's one is long as well. It's very strange. Same with Chipmunk. I'm not sure what's going on with the names tonight. Betsy, it looks all right. I hate mornings as well. Strange. I don't know what's going on with your chat names. Is this a new thing on YouTube? I don't understand. Did this change since I was here on like a night ago? Oh, she was? Okay. Well, it's been a long week. I'm not going to get into it because do you know what? Ping doesn't care. I couldn't give two hoots about none of this HTC stuff and whatever. I don't care. It's got nothing to do with me. Lindy says YouTube flips out and does this once in a while. Yeah, all right. Well, I'm going to have to remember who you all are. No, I know who you all are. A couple of nights ago, I talked to you about a woman called Leah Smith out of Vermont, and she went missing last week, just disappeared, stopped answering her father's phone calls, and wasn't talking to friends at college anymore. Well, there was a really sad update today. In the search for her with the authorities, they had search teams out looking for her. They did find her, unfortunately deceased. So she was not alive. They found her in a like a field. You'll see it in a minute. It's like this giant field not too far away from campus. And yeah, very sad. And there's like a lot of unexplained stuff in this particular one. A lot of people think this person is a what's the correct word? Trans person. They think this person is a trans person, and they're like, well, do any of the issues with trans people come into play? Were they bullied at school or something? Does that have something to do with it? Like, there's a lot of subtle undertones to this one. No confirmation that this person is a trans person, but I hear a lot of talk online that that's what people think. All right, I'm going to play the video for you. You're going to see where they found Leah, unfortunately.
Vermont State Police say they've located a body during the search for a missing Middlebury student. Thank you for joining us at 6. I'm Darren Perrin.
And I'm Kat Villiansoni. State police did not confirm that the body was that of 21-year-old Leah Smith, though efforts were ramped up today to find Smith, who was last seen about a week ago. And Channel 3's Cam Smith broke the news earlier today about a major response at a field in Cornwall. Cam, what happened after that?
Well, Kat, at around 4:30 or so, police left the college's organic farm known as the Knoll. We're here now at Middlebury Police Headquarters, where in the last 30 minutes, police wrote to us in a written update saying that they did find a body during their search for the missing college student at about 1:30 this afternoon. Now, this is video from that scene a few hours ago where multiple agencies converged on that farm field and could be seen setting up a tent. It's west of campus over the town line in Cornwall. Vermont State Police, who were called in to assist this week, say they are conducting a death investigation. Police have confirmed that the death does not appear to be suspicious. The body will be transported to the medical examiner's office. Confirmed that the
So that tent that you see in the photo that I've paused it on right here, that is where they found her body way back in this field called the Knoll. What a real, it's somewhat beautiful area, but it's also very sad that it seems like a very lonely place to have your final moments on this earth. Maybe that's what some people are looking for. They're looking for quiet. I don't know, but it's a bit sad that this is the chosen location for their last moments on this earth. We may never know why Leah ran away from college, stopped talking to her parents and her school friends, and decided to run off into this field and leave this earth. I think that is very, very tragic and sad. I would like to know more about why, but I just don't know if we will. I think being that it is self induced, we're probably not going to find out too much more, unfortunately. I think that's probably going to be about it. They're saying here a scheduled autopsy will happen just to confirm the identity of the victim and the manner of death. And they say that the initial investigation does not indicate that death is suspicious. So no foul play on this one at all. Yeah, very sad for Leah's family and friends. Very sad. But that's the only update I have for you about it. They found her. The search is over. But no more details really about her final hours or anything like that. Yes, that is what happened. Yes. Wendy, hey, they found a missing guy today. I'm glad they found the missing guy. I can't remember where. That's what happens with missing guys. You never know where they are. That's why they're missing. Yes, that is what happened, Marilyn. Yes. All right. That's all I have on it. I wish we could spend 25 minutes talking about it, but I don't. Like, I would just be repeating myself, really. I want to talk about this one, though. Very similar, but in a different part of the world. This one is in Australia. And if I told you that the situation was very similar, I think you would be a bit strange and feel a bit odd about it. This woman that you see down here, covered by a blanket, was found on the beach yesterday morning. Locals who were interviewed with the media said that they saw what they thought were injuries to the back of the person. The back. Keep that in mind when I tell you what the next bit is. Today, authorities have come out and said they believe this is a case of self-removal, is the word I'm going to use on YouTube. And they're saying that's what they believe it is. I find that a bit odd when people are saying they believe they saw injuries to the rear of her. And they're saying this woman may have been camping out here for a period of time along the beach. They found a vehicle, and this is her vehicle. And inside this vehicle was a mattress and pillows and blankets. So it may have been someone who had been sleeping in their car. Locals said that people do often use this car park for sleeping in their vehicle or camping on the beach. So it's quite a well-known place because apparently the amenities block nearby has hot water, has like a hot shower. So a lot of people who are having a hard time. Hold on. A lot of people who are having a hard time gravitate towards this area because it has a warm shower that they can use to wash themselves and things like that. And the photos from the car might indicate that. I wonder, there's her body being removed from the area yesterday. I just want to see if they have the other photos. There was a photo inside the vehicle, and I want to see if I can find it. Hold on. Hmm. There was a set of other photos. Yeah. It's in a different article, I think. Okay. All right. Can't find them, but inside this vehicle, I can tell you that I saw the photos, and yeah, there's definitely like almost like a lilo, almost like a lilo, if you know what that is. Like this wagon car had been set up for the second half of it to be like a bed, basically like a bed. They also found a change of clothes on that bed. So there was a dress that she may have been wearing at some point that was laid out on this sort of foam mattress in the vehicle. So very awful. The fact that someone who was in this type of predicament, if it is what they say it is, a self removal, that's very sad that they felt they had no other options, and the only sort of thing they could do is the actions that they took. People said that she was found on the beach and she was absolutely covered in blood and injuries. And she was also clutching a shard of glass. So like a broken bottle or some sort of piece of glass, and they believe that's what she used to hurt herself. So that's pretty grim that this woman thought that that was her only option in life. I'm just trying to see. I really want to show you those other photos because, yeah, maybe here. It is here. So you can see there is a mattress. What could be maybe a tent or a sleeping bag here too, a pillow or cushion, and then here looks like a yoga mat, sort of like a yoga mat here. I want to see those, and yeah, there you go. Inside the vehicle, you can see how that foam mattress or foam something was laid out, and then there was a dress of the young woman lying on that foam mattress. She just left it there, went down to the beach, and they're saying that, yeah, there's a photo of her under a white blanket after they found her yesterday. But really awful, really awful. You know, it does sort of look like that she was maybe living in that vehicle. That's really, really awful. Why injuries at the back though? I don't know. That comment came from someone who was witnessing the scene early in the morning, and they saw her on the beach, and they said it looked to them as if she had injuries to the rear or like on her upper back. How do you get injuries to your upper back if it is self done? I don't know, but they could have also been mistaken, possibly too. It could be just, eyewitness accounts are never perfect. They can often be wrong. But yeah, there was also speculation that in this area late at night, there's often men uh, hanging around here. And people said that these men make them feel uncomfortable because there's not a lot of lighting in the area. And some people were saying, well, maybe she was attacked, being that she was a woman, possibly sleeping on her own in the vehicle. Maybe someone took advantage of her being very vulnerable. I don't know. But today's article says that, yeah, they're saying that it's not suspicious. And yeah, I'll read it to you. They said here the 24-year-old woman's body was found by surfers and swimmers at Mona Vale Beach on the city's northern beaches on Thursday morning. She had reportedly suffered multiple stab wounds and was covered in blood. Detectives called to the scene did not rule out the possibility of it being self-motivated. They're saying after further investigation, police have now confirmed that to be the case here. They're saying locals had feared, though, that the woman may have been victim of an attack and the perpetrator still at large. A local man who wished to remain anonymous told the Daily Mail that he awoke to the sounds of sirens sometime between 5 a.m. and 5:30 a.m. yesterday. He went down to the beach to discover the area taped off and teeming with police and paramedics. He said despite the area being cordoned off, the man was able to see the woman's body lying on the beach with her black handbag next to her. And I think this might be the guy who said he saw injuries to her back. Yeah. The man said injuries he observed on the woman did not appear as though they could be self inflicted. It doesn't make sense to me, he said. I obviously police have a better, you know, a better way of investigating it. I guess police think that it is self done, and I hope her family did not have to read about her on the news in the morning, and put two and two together. Nana Lana, yeah, I don't know what's going on either with YouTube. Everyone's name is their long name. I don't know what's going on. Look, even Kelly's name. Look, Kelly's name is her long name. I don't know what's going on with everyone. Look, Diane Marie has numbers at the end of her name. We don't know what's going on. Something to do with YouTube, maybe. So there you go. I wanted to bring that to you because of the sort of crossover with Leah. Two women on very different parts of this world, unfortunately going through what seems to be very difficult points in their lives and unfortunately chose the same option. They chose the option that I can't tell you what it is. You guys have to just fill in the blanks here. But yeah, that's it. Blaze says maybe she left the dress out to be buried in. Injuries could be bruised coloring when the blood like levity, when the blood settles into the lower part of the body. Could be. She could have been. It could have been hours old, possibly. You might be right. Um, I don't know how much. Again, in Australia, reporting about these type of cases is very, very tight, especially when it's ends up being this type of thing. So the chances of us finding out a lot more about this woman are probably pretty thin. We may get a name at some point, maybe. If I get a name for her and a photo, I'll tell you. But right now, there is no other details for her, which is, yeah. I just find it sad that a young woman, 24 years old, got a long life ahead of her, felt that this was the best option for her at that point in time. And as someone who has been homeless for their younger years, I was homeless around this age and younger. I can tell you that I felt to be at that point several times where you feel like it's not going to get any better, that there's no light at the end of the tunnel. But life, while very quick, is very long too, and there's always different things that can happen to change where you are in the world. Can happen overnight or it can happen years later. But I would have hoped that if this young lady stuck around, that maybe her fortune would have changed eventually too. So I don't know. I hope we find out more about her. I would hate for her to have died like this, and whatever message or anything that she would like the public or people to know, I would hope that we will find out if she had some reason for this or would like to talk, had some last message she wanted to share with the world. That would be nice to know. But I'm just going to check one other place to see if I can get a name. I don't have a name. Yeah. No name, unfortunately. Here, the police have confirmed the woman's family have been informed of her death and are now expected to prepare a report for the New South Wales coroner. So the coroner will receive a report about her unnatural death, and her family are aware of her demise, unfortunately. Um, hey Kelly. Kelly says after I was blocked on the chat on Web Sleuth, yeah, they've had some problems over the years of people being blocked, and then when we check the block list for them, there's your name's not on there. It's happened to several people over the years, and there's only very few options we have to fix it, because if we can't find your name in the list, then we can't remove you, and like what else can we do? So yeah, yeah, strange. So either someone on Web Sleuth keeps falling asleep with their phone. It's very easy if you're moderating on a phone to accidentally click on someone and block them. If you do it on a computer, it's much harder. But on a phone, it's just one click away from blocking someone. All right. I want to go and I want to talk about Keon King just briefly because he ended up being charged with murder now. Um, and I want to talk to you about an update. So his bail has been revoked, so he's going to stay in jail now, which is good news for everyone. Uh, yes, I want to take you to CBS in Philadelphia for the update.
Just released the cause of death for Kate Scott. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jim Don.
Hey, I just got a weird message on my screen. Can you guys still see the video and can you see my camera? Let me know because it just gave me a weird message saying everything was disconnected. So I'll play it again, and we'll see. We'll see how we go. I think the volume is all the way up now. It wasn't when we first turned it on, but it is now.
So now charged with her murder. Chief investigator.
No sound. Okay. Hold on, guys. No sound. Let me open up a new tab. No sound. It's the man. The man is trying to stop us. The man is trying to stop us. Let me see if it does this strange message again. Let's see. I'm not sure what's up with the audio. I'm not sure what's up with the audio. Closed captions are on. I keep them on for people who are hard of hearing or whatever. We need to complain to StreamYard. There's this weird bug that happens. Sometimes when I try and show you a video, it's blaring here. I'll show you here. Yeah. I'll show you. It's super loud for me. I'll turn it on. Yeah, go here. Yeah, I'll play it through here.
Corpse conspiracy, as well as firearms charges. So now, as you've mentioned, the medical examiner also releasing the cause of death. We've learned that Kata Scott died by a gunshot wound to the head. King is accused of fatally shooting Kata Scott within a 20-minute period of time after the two met up outside her place of work in Chestnut Hill. A co-worker told police Scott was on the phone when leaving work and appeared to be upset. That was the night of October 4th. Investigators have been feverishly working backwards to build a case and explain what happened to Kata Scott after she disappeared. Prosecutors and police still haven't said how long the two knew each other or why she got into his car that night. Investigators revealed text messages and phone calls between the two in court filings, which were made public yesterday. Prosecutors have not provided a possible motive. Court records allege Keon King and an accomplice placed a heavy object consistent with a human body at the location where Kata Scott was later found by investigators. She had been buried in a shallow grave. Police are looking for as many as 2 other people connected to the case. King, according to court records, declined to be interviewed by homicide detectives. It is unclear if King's lawyer will be appearing for this arraignment. Court records show that Ashaka Johnson, we've reached out to him repeatedly and have not heard back.
Yeah, so you guys can hear just how loud it is for me. And for some reason, when I try and share it with you, it's very quiet. And I don't know why. But playing it into the microphone is a good little trick that I learned recently, that we can just do it like that sometimes. Cause of death was gunshot wound to the head. She was shot in the head. They believe she was shot pretty quickly after she was taken from her work site. And yeah, so now they're looking for potentially 2 other people who may have helped Keon King. And they're saying here, on Wednesday, a new 5-page affidavit also gave some insight into communication exchange between Scott and King in the hours before she was killed. That's very interesting, because we've all been wondering what was sort of going on to make her leave the workplace. But listen to this. The morning before Scott went missing on October 4, court documents state that Scott sent a text message to a number that police have connected to Keon King. The message read, "Kidnap me again." Police are still investigating the context surrounding that message. Following the text sent around 10 a.m., the two made arrangements to meet each other before picking up Scott from work. King called Scott on her cell phone 12 times before he picked her up. Picked up Scott from her place of work in Mount Airy around 10:45 p.m. He arrived in a stolen black Hyundai Accent, a car he is accused of later burning, in which the arson and tampering with evidence charges stem from. Investigators said a few minutes after it is believed her phone went offline. So they're saying, yeah. By the way, whoever wrote this did a really shit job. It says here, can you guys see this? I wonder if you guys can see it. Yeah. Let's go here. It's not worded correctly. See? Investigators said a few minutes after it is believed her phone went offline. Her phone went offline. Dun, dun, dun. Her phone just went... It's a double positive. Her phone went offline and her phone went offline. I feel like you have to read it in that voice. It's this message here that gets me. Kidnap me again. There was a case a little while ago where a young woman was sending these type of messages to some men. She was a teenage girl, but she was sending these type of come and kidnap me type of messages to people. Do you remember that girl? She was missing out of now Ping's got to remember. I can't remember, but I know there was guys in Florida and Texas who ended up being arrested for their communications and things they did with her. She ended up being found, but she was sending messages to like that to people too. Yes, it was Utah. Thank you. Yes, the Utah girl. She said things like that too, kidnap me, and she was encouraging these men to come and kidnap her. So I don't know if this is some sort of role play and that bit is innocent, but messing with Keon King, he's a psycho. So that is, where it went wrong. But I don't know if the stuff before it, like this whole kidnap thing, is just some sort of role play or some sort of game. I don't know, but it's strange that we've had two cases in the last, half a year where young girls, ladies, have been sending this type of thing to men. I don't know if it's connected, but it is a bit odd. Yeah, so there we go. We did get that confirmation that she was shot. Her death was from gunshot. So that's how she died. And now he has been charged with murder. He's also facing those other charges, which is like abuse of corpse, robbery. I think he's got arson, conspiracy, tampering with evidence, reckless endangerment, unauthorized use of an automobile, and receiving stolen property. And apparently he's being held on a $2.5 million bond. But apparently his bond was revoked today as well. I think Utah girl name is Alina. Let me have a look. It was in Provo, right? Provo, Utah was where this was from. Yeah, she was 15 years old. Alyssa Petrov. That was the girl. And she said really weird stuff to men. That girl was, I mean, I'm not king shaming anyone. I don't even want to talk about the sex lives of a 15-year-old girl, but I, you know, it's concerning that she was messaging this type of thing to men, not boys, not 15-year-old, guys, but like grown 35-year-old men that she was saying, "Come kidnap me, do all this type of sexual thing," and don't know what was going on with that girl. But yeah, Alyssa Petrov was the girl. Just want to find the text messages that she sent. Hang on. I'm just trying to see if I can find them so we can read them. I don't know if we'll be able to. But there was several men who were investigated surrounding her. Yeah. According to the conversation stored on the app, which I think was Discord, Mitchell and Petrov discussed meeting in person. Petrov reportedly shared personal details with the suspect and asked him to kidnap her. At one point, the suspect shared a phone number with Petrov, and that number was identified as belonging to Mitchell. And just after midnight on April 19, the last message from the victim to Mitchell read, "I'm running away. Please don't contact me," which was the strangest thing I've ever heard. Almost like when a little kid runs away and they're like, "Don't come after me. Don't come and find me." It almost read very much like that. But yeah, strange that this has come up a couple of times. Rachel said, "I'm very sad that she probably didn't know his history. He's a predator, in my opinion." In the UK, there is a thing that you can get given to you if you start dating someone or come into the orbit of someone that has violence against women So if you're a woman, you can get a notice given to you from authorities that tells you that you could be in danger. I can't remember what they're called, but it's a fairly new thing, and it's to stop people, men who do DV. It's to stop them from jumping from woman to woman to woman, and it's designed to give the woman that come into their life a heads up and be like, hey, this guy could be dangerous. So, the abuse of the corpse was probably, I think it probably would have been burying her in that area, is what I would think it would be from. Would be good in the USA. It would be, right? Here, see if I can find it. Yeah, it's called a Domestic Violence Protection Notice, or DVPN, and is a police issued emergency order in the UK designed to protect victims of DV who can be women, and they issued it to the perpetrator. No, that's not the right one. There's another, this is not the same thing. This is to the perpetrator, but there's another one that goes to a potential new partner or other women. Is it a DAPO? No, that's a domestic assault protection order. I thought it was called like a lavender notice or something like that. I can't quite remember, but I know a few different police departments in the UK do them, and it's supposed to be designed to just give women a heads up. What is going on here? Okay. Yeah, it's supposed to be designed to help women. Kelly said, "Wow, I'd like to hear more about that. Not sure it would work here in the US." Well, at least it would give women a heads up. I'll try and find more about it. Give me a second. Mm. I'm just trying to find out what it's called. Yeah. Is it this one? I was reading about it the other week. Let me have a look. Yeah. Yeah. Clare's Law gives women potential access to a partner's criminal history. And they're saying Clare's Law allows women and men to ask these questions of police, who can use it to offer information to people who have not sought it. And they're saying here, official figures show thousands of applications to get or give information result in nothing being disclosed. According to a former police officer, this is regularly because women do not want to hear it. They think it's no one's business but theirs, and accuse police of interfering. Interesting. I think all women, if you are offered that information, should take it. And if the police come to you saying that they have information about your partner that you need to listen to, but that you need to make an application so they can give it to you, that you should do that. I think it's... Hi. Hello, cat. Giant cat's back here again. Look. Say hi, Marv. Here you go. Cat's back again. I think it's more... not a registry as such. I think it just gives women or men potentially access to their partner's history, so they don't find out too late that there's a history of DV there. I think that's basically what it is. Hey, don't bite my hands. Kim says, but the abusers can be sweet talkers and lie about the charges. Well, that's why when it comes from police, they can't lie about it, because it's real information. Guys, I gotta move this giant orange cat. Hold on. Hello, buddy. Say hello to everyone. You want to say hello to everyone? I don't know why you don't like this microphone, buddy. Every time I get this microphone out, he's like, "Oh my god, I have to sit on Dad's lap." All right, come on, move. All right, we're back. He's mental. He literally clawed his way up my leg to try and come and sit near the microphone. We're not sure why he does it, and he only does it when I'm doing the show. It's very strange. Strange. Every other time when there's no microphone here, there's no live show going, he never comes up here. He just sleeps on his little thing over in the corner. Very strange. Yeah, they're saying. So it's called Clare's Law. Let me see. Clare's Law. Yeah, it's officially known as the Domestic Violence Disclosure Scheme. The law was named after 36-year-old Claire Wood, who was killed by a man with a history of violence in Salford, Greater Manchester. They're saying there is a right to ask for partners or friends and family. The police can use the right to know to consider sharing information proactively. Interesting. So yeah, you can find out. You can find out through this right to know and find out if a partner or a new love interest has some sort of background in violence. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, let me see if I can find any more about Clare's Law. Let's see if we can find anything down here. Da, da, da. Trying to see if we can find something from the UK. Sometimes being in Australia, our search results are very skewed towards Australia. Yeah. I'm gonna take you to Channel 4 in the UK.
Claire Wood didn't know her ex-boyfriend had for violence against women. He strangled her to death in 2009. And 10 years ago now, Clare's Law was brought in across England and Wales to prevent more deaths like Clare's. There are basically two parts to it. Firstly, the right to ask. That means that people can ask the police whether a partner or former partner has a record of domestic abuse. And it's being used more and more each year. In 2018, people found out that a partner or ex did have an abusive past about 2,500 times. Last year, though, this number had risen to more than 9,000. But there's a second arm of Clare's Law, and that's called the right to know. There you go. And this allows police to proactively warn somebody that their partner has a history of abuse, even though they haven't asked. And again, it's been used more and more. In 2019, police warned 4,008 times about a partner's abusive past, despite not being asked. By 2023, this figure had nearly doubled to 7,609.
All right, I'll leave it there, but that gives you a bit of a rundown of how it works. That would be interesting in cases like Kada Scott and Keon King. Maybe if someone had warned him about those charges, warned her about the charges from earlier in 2025, maybe she would have stayed away from him and wouldn't have associated with him, wouldn't be messaging him, asking him to come kidnap her. It seems like a very good law. I think it would help people, and I don't know if it's coming to America, but it would. Seems like it does a lot of good. You think of those numbers we heard in that video. 7,609 people were given information proactively from police, and almost 10,000 people were given information when they applied for it. Almost 10,000. So if you add those together, almost 15,000 people got information about someone in their lives who is a violent person. Who knows how many people that may have saved or given enough information to know that it's time to get away, get out, change their life somehow, or move away from a relationship, or just give them enough information so they know what they're getting into. I think it's a great idea. I don't know if it would have changed Keon and Kada Scott. I have no idea, but we won't know because never happened. So, but interesting to overlay that onto Kada Scott's one. We will never find out because Kada is dead and Keon is now in jail. Lux says, I don't know. We don't know. We don't know. I logged in tonight and everyone's full names are here. I have no idea. Ask YouTube. It's a YouTube thing, I think. All right. There you go. There's your update. So Keon King now has homicide charges filed against him. He's also facing those other charges, which is abuse of a corpse, robbery. He's got arson, conspiracy, tampering with evidence, reckless endangerment, unauthorized use of an automobile, and receiving stolen property. He's also being held on a $2.5 million bail, but I believe that bail was revoked today. So I don't think he'll be getting bail anytime soon. All right. I want to talk about this missing girl because it seems like we were very early on the Melodee story. And I think we need to keep talking about it because this little girl still hasn't sort of appeared. No one has seen her. No one knows. Like, where is this little girl? And it's been a couple of weeks now since the last verified or semi-verified sighting of Melodee Buzzard. And I think we got to keep on it. We got to keep talking about it. We got to keep looking at it and try and find where this little girl is located. I'm just going to try. That's very sad. Sorry, someone just sent me a story. I'll play that in a minute to the person who just sent that to me. Yep. I'll do that in a minute. The person just emailed me a story out of Texas, but you have to wait. You have to wait. All right. Yeah, let's take you to ABC7. And it says, yeah, stop. Timeline of investigation into missing 9-year-old girl from Santa Barbara, California. And they're saying the FBI has joined the search for a 9-year-old girl missing from Santa Barbara County. They're saying the most recent photo of Melodee Buzzard provided to investigators is 2 years old. That's concerning to me. Anytime we have these missing children and there's no photo from like a week ago, I'm always concerned because all the mums I know, they're always taking photos of their kids. Always. They're always taking photos of the kids. They think their phone was invented to take photos of their children, and that's all they ever do. It concerns me that 2 years. Why is there no photo in the previous 2 years? So that is always odd. And they're saying here, like, what we know is she was apparently being homeschooled, but apparently had never checked in with the independent studies program, never picked up homework, never picked up classwork that was a mandatory requirement to do homeschooling. And her mother, Ashley, never picked up any of this paperwork. And they're saying here that the evidence points to Melodee possibly being with Ashley as recently as October 7 when they went on this bizarre road trip. They're saying they believe she was with her mother on a road trip that took them as far as Nebraska. They said they believe Ashley Buzzard was driving a rented white Chevrolet Malibu with the license plate 9MNG101. Investigators say her mother remains uncooperative and hasn't given authorities any information about Melodee's whereabouts. Why? And I think that's the question I have now. If you were Ashley Buzzard and you wanted this all to go away, why would you not just tell authorities where the child is? If you want all this attention to disappear, you just have to tell people and, show that the child is healthy, alive, and is doing okay, and put her back in school. That's it. Why won't the mother do that? Why is she uncooperative? That is what's concerning, because normally when people are uncooperative, it's because they already know the answer to the question that everyone is asking, which is, where is the little girl and is she alive? That's what we're trying to find out. Yeah, this is interesting. I didn't know this, actually. This is new to Ping too. In a bizarre sequence of events, Ashley Buzzard, 40, was seen repeatedly attempting to rent a car in Santa Maria, a town approximately 20 miles from her modest 3-bedroom home in Lompoc, California. They're saying here photos show how the mum of the 9-year-old was picked up by a friend in a black Lincoln sedan early on Wednesday morning and driven first to a branch of Buzzard and then an Airport Avis location. Why would she need another rental car? Strange. They're saying Buzzard, who is being pursued by the courts over a string of unpaid credit card debts, was denied a rental at both and eventually returned home. Okay. A car containing social workers screeched up to the house moments after she arrived, according to neighbors, but Buzzard once again refused to answer the door. Buzzard has repeatedly refused to answer questions about Melodee's whereabouts and has spent most of the past week holed up in her cream-painted cottage, ignoring visits from CPS and her daughter's extended family. I have a problem here. Whoever this friend is that is driving her around town and taking her to rental car companies and things like this, you are part of the problem. Why the fuck are you enabling her? Seriously, you are complicit. Stop. Take her to the fucking cops. There's a child at stake here, and you're too busy piss farting around, taking her around to get fucking rental cars. Look after the kid first. Isn't that the whole idea of this? It's ridiculous. So whoever this friend is, I hope you see this video. Stop. Stop enabling her. You tomorrow should go straight to the authorities and tell them everything you know. Stop. Because it's not helping anyone. You're not helping Ashley, really. You're not helping Melodee. All you're doing is making it way, way worse for everyone involved. The answer and the way to make this all go away is very simple. Guys, like I said before, tell the authorities where the child is. Tell them how they can know that she is healthy and alive. That's all they want to know. They're not here to take your child away. They're not here to do any of that. All they want you to do is get your daughter an education and make sure she is healthy. That's it. Other than that, you can do whatever you want with the kid. You can take it to Nebraska. You can take it to friggin' New York if you want. But you can't, hide this child and pretend like she doesn't exist. So it really frustrates me when we see these cases and we see people that seem to gravitate towards the person who is under investigation and they help them. It's like, why? Like, especially when there's a child involved, help the child. Like, don't you have questions as a friend? Don't you wonder what's going on with the kid? Like, you can't believe what Ashley is telling you, right? Unless you have this child in the car with you, or you can talk to them on the phone or something, like via video chat, then don't you have questions about where this little girl is? Don't you care about if she's okay? So be a good friend. And a good friend wouldn't actually do this and enable this woman. A good friend would make sure her problems start getting solved, and her problems are with authorities. So the best way to solve that is make sure that kid is given over to authorities and CPS to make sure they know she's alive. That's how you can help your friend solve her problems. That's it. That's how you do it. Rachel said, "Why wasn't she with them?" Yeah, where is the child? If she's not at this home, and they reckon that the mum Ashley has been in and out of this home for the last week or so, but the child has not been seen. So where is the child? How come you're not with her? If you're her mother, who's taking care of the child? Who's feeding her? You know, looking after her. If you're at this home and everyone's watching your home and they haven't seen a kid there, where is the child and who is looking after her? Kim said, but seeing the story should make her not believe that. I know. I don't understand why this person is helping her. Yeah. Picked up by someone driving a black Lincoln. Great. Good work. And they're saying here, is this the friend or is this CPS? That looks, that's the mom. Is that her? Oh, yeah, that's her. Personally, Ping is of the opinion that in these type of cases, you give them the Lori Vallow treatment. You say, listen here, woman, you've got 72 hours to give us that child and bring her into authorities for a medical evaluation, make sure she is okay and healthy, or we're going to toss your ass in jail until you tell us what happened to that kid. Like, why do we just let people do this? It doesn't make sense to me. We're all like, how about we send CPS out to just knock on their door? That'll do it. That'll do it. Well, no, it's not, because she's just ignoring you. So she's already shown contempt for authorities, for CPS, for everyone trying to make sure this kid is okay. So give her the ultimatum. If you don't bring her in by Monday morning to our, police department headquarters and show us that this little girl is alive, breathing, and doing okay, then we're going to toss your ass into the jail. We'll charge you with child neglect. We'll charge you with child abandonment. We'll charge you with whatever. Just do it. I think there's also, the cops could be a little more heavy-handed here too. Let me see. Hey, Kathy, how are you, my friend? SP Mama said CPS is a lost cause. 90% of their actions is bad, wrong, or underfunded. I have a lot of sympathy for CPS workers to some degree. They are underfunded. They are overworked. And the way the organization is structured is wrong. To give one person a case file of like 80 children, you're never going to get good quality oversight on these children who are vulnerable. You're never going to get it. You can't. It's impossible. And asking a CPS worker to do that type of work, knowing that they are basically, um, fighting a losing situation, it's not fair on them. It's not fair on the children. It's not fair on anyone. Um, I don't know how many they should have, but it shouldn't be like 80 or 150 children because you're not going to get quality work from these people. I love this sign, and I want to know what type of woman or mother is able to walk past this sign every morning outside of her house, hop into the Lincoln, and take off, and see this sign and not give a crap. That's it's troubling. Let's see. Actually, let's look up what was that law that they did it for Lori Vallow. What was the law that that particular county did that sort of timeline for her? What was it? Hold on. Lori Vallow. So Lori Vallow was given 5 days, and it came from the Idaho court. It's been a while since I looked into the Lori Vallow stuff. So it was a child protection action that was filed on behalf of JJ Vallow and Tylee Ryan, and a court ordered Lori to physically produce the two children to the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare in Rexburg within 5 days of being served with the order. Do this. Do that. Go to court and get that order for Melodee and give it to the mum and say, you got 5 days to produce the children, or we're going to do what we did to Lori Vallow and arrest your ass. Lux says, Melodee is such a cutie. She deserves so much better from her evil mum. There's something strange going on here because it's human nature to want to get out of a situation, right? So if you imagine you are Ashley Buzzard right now and you're like, damn it, there's people outside of my home. There's CPS coming and knocking on my door every half an hour. There's freaking cops coming to my home all the time. There's media. There's like my neighbors, extended family who I hate. They keep coming over. But what's the easiest exit strategy here? What's the easiest way of making this go away? It's to produce the child to authorities. And then this all goes away. Like instantly, overnight. It'll just go away. They'll be like, oh, she's just some crazy woman who thinks the world is ending. So we've been here before. And is hiding her child with the preppers or something. There's no crime in that as long as the kid is alive, unlike Lori Vallow. But, that's the easiest exit strategy here. So why is that not happening? And if that isn't happening, what does that mean for Melodee? To me, that makes me concerned that Melodee is maybe not alive. I don't know that for sure. I'm just saying, if you wanted this just to disappear, it can happen in 24 hours. What's with the non-cooperative? What's with the, I don't want to be interviewed. I don't want to tell CPS. I don't want to talk to authorities. Why I'm trying to rent another car. Something odd going on. SP1 said, in a few years, AI will be able to replicate the kids so people think they are alive. They will have an in-person interview. They will have to have an in-person interview. I think they have to do that now. It's called proof of life. But yeah, very strange. I don't know where this goes from here, but I would like to see them apply to the court in California to do the same thing they did for Lori Vallow's children and give her a time limit to have to produce Melodee and say, hey, by next Friday, if you don't give her over to authorities to check her out, then we're just going to pick you up and put your ass in freaking jail. I feel like we're too soft on people. Let's go here. I want to play a little bit from ABC7 if I can grab it, just to refresh everyone of what has happened in the last, few days. If I can get my links going. Apparently not. Okay, apparently no. Okay. Ah, yeah. Let me check one thing. This is not the one we want. This is not the one we want. Okay. Yeah, this is that one from the other day. I'll just play it for people who aren't caught up on Melodee. Looking at that garage, what did we learn in the Valor case? Where's that photo of that garage? What did we learn in the Valor case? The one thing that gave us clues to JJ being not alive was a lot of his things that had been like packed up and not used, or not things that he would have to use every day. I wonder what is in those boxes. Are they like, you can tell a child, like, because children grow every year, right? So they always need new clothes, new shoes, stuff like that. Maybe they could tell from what is left in that garage of the last time Melodee had new clothes, or um, any birthday cards, or anything to give a clue as to when was the last time she physically had something. Like, you can get clues from that type of thing, so that would be interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure what is going on with YouTube tonight, but the chat is broken, the audio is broken. YouTube is having a funny night. I don't know what is going on tonight. I don't know if it's StreamYard or YouTube or both, but they're both having a bit of a rough night tonight. They're both not doing a good night. Packed away in a storage container. There's a lot of storage tubs in this garage. I mean, I know everyone has stuff in their garage, but there is a lot of like random minutia in here. Like, there's a freaking muffin baking tin. You can put that in the kitchen, It's okay. Even if you don't cook, you can just pretend you do and just put it in your cupboard in the kitchen. Why is it in the garage? It's a little odd, but yeah. Yeah, it looks like this garage needs a bit of a TLC. It needs some love and attention. All right. Let me take you over here. So apparently there is a prayer vigil for Melodee happening. Oh, come on. There we go. There is a prayer vigil happening for Melodee, which I think is great. The California community has done a great job with missing children recently. And yeah. So here is sort of the timeline for Melodee. They say at risk missing 9-year-old. They say the most recent photo is from 2023. In August of 2025, there was a verified sighting at the Lompoc Unified School District. So back in August. October 7, verified sighting of Melodee and Ashley beginning of a road trip to Nebraska where Ashley returned to Lompoc without Melodee. Without Melodee. Did she just drop her kid off in the Nebraska wilderness and come home? And then this is where they're saying the investigation is beginning. October 14, check the welfare request by Lompoc Unified School District. Prompts onset of missing person investigation. Ashley was contacted at residence and could not provide reasonable explanation of Melodee's whereabouts. And then they're saying October 15, detectives serve a search warrant at the residence. Melodee is not located and Ashley remains uncooperative. And then in the 18th of October, the FBI joins the investigation. October 22nd, Melodee remains an at-risk missing person. Ashley remains uncooperative with investigators. So there you go. Uncooperative again. Totally uncooperative. Let's see here. So according to the father, the father died in a motorcycle accident when Melodee was just a baby. And they're saying here that Melodee's aunt on the paternal side says she hasn't let us see Melodee for a few years now. All of us have tried to see Melodee, but we never stop thinking about her, loving her, or praying for her. And they're saying here that there will be a candlelight vigil tomorrow night at 5 p.m. And they're saying the family will be over there to show support for Melodee. So there you go. They're going to do a candlelight vigil. Is it tomorrow? I think it's Friday. So Friday at 5 p.m. They're going to do a candlelight vigil in the local area for Melodee. So yeah, that's a different story about Chad Daybell. That's a different type of bad story. Um, that's all I have on Melodee right now. The investigation seems to be moving slowly, very slowly, but hopefully we will get there. It is interesting that they're now confirming that only Ashley came back from that trip, though. They are definitely saying that. Yeah, the mother of the 9-year-old girl who was reported missing earlier this month after she had not been seen in more than a year traveled with her daughter out of state days before the investigation was launched, but returned home without her. Do you think maybe she dropped her at a friend's house in Nebraska, thinking that CPS was going to come in and take the child? Is that what's maybe going on? Did she think authorities are going to come and take the kid off her? They're investigating. They're searching for Melodee, and the FBI are involved. So they're now looking for her too. I would say they're probably looking through traffic cameras, probably doing subpoenas, trying to get digital information from Ashley's cell phone, all sorts of things to try and find any sort of movements. They may have even subpoenaed the rental car company too to try and get information from the recorder, the GPS recorder on the vehicle, to try and find out where they went in Nebraska. Somewhere between CA and NB. Possibly. You guys might be right, but yeah, they saying now definitely she did not come home with her. So Melodee never came back to California. So somewhere, yeah, you're right. Somewhere between leaving California, going to Nebraska, and coming back to California, Melodee disappeared. somewhere over the thousands of miles. That is a very difficult search. Mum is not talking. Mum is uncooperative with authorities. Uncooperative. So that's all I have on that one, unfortunately. But someone sent me this story from Texas, San Antonio. Sad update, apparently. That's not what we want to do. Yeah, thank you for the link, but I don't want to do that one. Uh-huh. I'll do this one instead. If it'll load. No, that's not good. Give me 1 second, guys. The link they sent me is a good link, but it's like 45 minutes long. And we're not going to play 45 minutes of stuff. Hold on. Yeah, we're not going to do that. Let's go here. So there was a 19-year-old kid who has Asperger's syndrome. His name is Zachariah, and they're saying here that they discovered his body today out on I-35 and Schwab Road in a field. His name is 19-year-old Zachariah Stallings. Horrible. How did this kid get out here? I don't know the story. Someone sent it to me, so I am trying to get something for us to have a look at it for us. Yeah, let's see if there's something on this place here. Okay. All right. Only a short update here, but I'll bring you more information. Hopefully you can hear this one. Probably not. I don't know what the fuck is going on with YouTube, with StreamYard, but this is really, really annoying. The F. What the hell's going on with StreamYard and YouTube tonight?
Shirts police say a missing 19-year-old man with Asperger's syndrome has been found dead. Zacharias Stallings was last seen October 19th in the Parkland neighborhood. Today, Shirts police say they were using a drone to search the area around Schwab Road and I-35 when they found Stallings' body in a field. It's not clear yet how he died, and Shirts police could not say if foul play was possibly involved. We're told the investigation is ongoing. Our top story tonight is Shirts.
All right. Yeah, that's so frustrating. What is going on with YouTube tonight? I don't understand. We've never had this problem where there's like no sound on any video. That like occasionally we get one where it's too quiet, but not like this. But the 19-year-old man found dead in Shirts, officials confirm. He's 19 years old, has Asperger's syndrome, was last seen Saturday in the 5200 block of Nature Path, and they're saying in the area of Eckhart and I-35, wearing a white t-shirt and black shorts at the time. Police say he had gone for a jog. There's a photo of him there. I'll put it up. There you go. Wonder why he died. They're saying on Thursday around 3:30 p.m., 5 days later, the local PD was searching an area around I-35 using a drone. During the search, a body was seen in a field in the northwest corner of Schwab Road and I-35, 1.2 miles from where Stallings was last seen. The body has confirmed to be Stallings and has now been declared dead. Next of kin has been notified. Police say they're still not sure if foul play is involved or not. That is awful. I hope there's no foul play. That's the last thing I'd like to think about is someone is taking advantage of a 19-year-old with barriers, like this young man. That's awful. Yes, thank you. Please hit the thumbs up. I would appreciate it. Well, yeah, I don't normally it's the younger people with these type of spectrum issues, not normally the ones who are a little older like this. Normally we hear of the ones who are between 3 and 7. They're the ones who seem to get out of their home and unfortunately pass away, but not normally this type of age. That's a bit abnormal. Here, they got this is the scene, I think. Here, I'll show it to you.
We're following breaking news tonight about a missing
Oh,
teenager
that
in the
worked.
church.
Good work, Ping. Come on. We're having a hell of a night tonight. Yeah.
We're following breaking news tonight about a missing teenager in the Schertz area. Let's get straight over to Melissa Vega at the live desk.
Well, very tragic here. We have been reporting on the search for missing 19-year-old Zacharias Stallings. And just within the last few minutes, the Schertz Police Department saying that the search has ended in the discovery of his body. Police say at 3:30 this afternoon, they were searching and discovered his body in a field near Schwab Road and I-35 southbound using a drone. You may remember Zacharias was last seen back on Saturday evening going for a jog. Never returned home. His family and police were very concerned as Zacharias suffered from Asperger's syndrome, making potential social interactions difficult as well. We are still waiting to learn more information. The Schertz Police Department hasn't released any additional information about the discovery of Zacharias's body, only saying that the investigation is ongoing.
I'm concerned that he just went for a jog and then ended up in a field 5 days later, dead. I want to know how that happens. You would think if you're going for a jog, you'd probably stay on a very some sort of path or road or footpath type thing. How did he end up in a field where the only thing that could find him was a drone? That's what I would like to know, because it just seems a little odd. And the fact that cops won't confirm or deny foul play is concerning, because normally they can just sort of tell and they're like, oh, there's no foul play. That's fine. But the fact that they can't do that is concerning. All right. Yeah, I get you. All right. Guys, that's it for my updates tonight. I'm going to get out of here. I love you all. It's a bit of a short night tonight, but I'll be back tomorrow. On the weekend this weekend, we're going to do more USA food testing. By the way, Mrs. Ping said if you get us to 2,000 subscribers by Christmas, she'll taste some USA Christmas foods with you all. And you guys would have fun doing that. So if you hit that subscribe button, you'll get an extra special show at Christmas from her. By the way, I thank all the people who support this channel. We add them to the video at the end of the show just to say thank you to them, because those are the people who donate to this channel. They're the ones who keep the shows open and free for everyone else. So everyone else who's unable to donate or help, that's fine. The people you see at the end of the video, they are the people who allow that to happen for you. That's why we don't have any membership videos, and we don't put things on Patreon and stuff like that. those are the people who allow that to be a reality for the rest of you. So if you see them in chat, if you see those nice people, say thank you to them. If you see someone on the list, thank them for it. All right. I love you all. I'll be back tomorrow. Good night. Bye.
Leather jacket feeling cold against your skin. Running through the chaos, letting all the sin. Temptation in a bottle, ready for the night. Craving for the thrill, it's time to ignite. Dark desires burning bright. Echo